Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make this 3D beaded broccoli charm, which has been really highly requested since I showed a preview of it last September. So this is what it looks like. So to make one of these you're going to need some size 11 seed beads in a dark green colour. I'm using this dark silver lined rainbow green, and also in a light green. This is just a light lime green with a rainbow finish. And then I'm using a size 11 hex cut. This is a Miyuki hex cut size 11. This is in mid green, I think. So sparkly. That is optional. You could use just another size 11 bead for that, but I like the way that it sparkles. And then you can either use a round bead or a delicate bead for the stalk. I use a delicate bead because I had the perfect colour in that, so whichever light you want, a really pale light green, so this is opaque light mint. So you can either do a delicate or a round seed bead, as long as it's a really pale contrast to the top. And then you'll need a needle, beading needle size 12. Thread, I'm using 6 pound fireline in crystal, and I'm using a lot of thread for this. And then you'll need a jump ring or split ring. I'm going to use a little split ring to attach it as a charm. That's everything, let's get started. So I've laid my beads out in this order, so lightest to darkest and then the hex cut ones at the end. That's kind of the order we're going to use them in. Start by picking up 3 of your lightest green. Slide those all the way down until you've got about 5 inches of thread left at the end. And then you're just going to hold those 3 in place and then pick up 3 more. And we're coming out the top of these, like our working thread is this side. So you're going to go up through the bottom, through all 3. Pull that through. So you have this, and now back down through those 3 we just added. So we're doing ladder stitch, 3 rows high. Oops. So now we have this. Now you're going to pick up 3, go back through those 3 that you're coming out of, but on the opposite side to where your thread's coming out. So this time we're going down through, through the top, through all 3, like that. And then back up through those 3 you just added. We have this, and then again pick up 3, going through those 3 on the opposite side to where the thread's coming out, so that it creates the loop, whether that's top or bottom. Pull those into place and then go down through the 3 you just added, or up through, depending which way round you are. So we have this, and we're going to keep doing that same thing, adding rows of 3 until we've got 10 rows. So right now we've got 4, so keep going until you've got 10. So when you've got 10 like this, you're just going to fold it in half so that the 2 ends meet. So we're coming out the bottom of these 3 over here, so you're going to go up through the 3 at the other end. And then down through the 3 at the other end to join them together at both sides. Pull that nice and tight, so now it's all joined together. I'm just going to go through that one more time, so up through those 3 and down through those 3, and then pull that really tight. So So we have this, it's all closed up at the minute, but it's going to open up to be our round broccoli stalk. So from here, because the tail thread's also coming out this side, I'm going to move up through the next row so that I'm coming out of the top and working away from my tail thread. It just makes it a bit easier to hold this hand and then be working that way. So we have this, so now we're going to pick up 3 and oops, so I'm coming out of here. There's a thread that connects this column that I'm coming out of to the next one. I've got to take my needle under those threads. It's kind of hard to show. If you can see that, I'm going under those threads that connect the 2 columns together. Pull that through until it's almost all the way through like that, and then go up through those 3 you just added. Pull that through and then pull it all the way down. So we have this. Okay, same again, picking up 3. We're going to be moving round clockwise around this, which isn't a circle at the minute, but this, what will be a circle of 10 rows. So coming out of the top of these 3, you're going to go to the right and under the next threads that connect the next 2 together. Pull that all the way through this time. So we have this, and then go up through those 3 that we just added. Pull it nice and tight. Now we have 2 columns, picking up 3 and going under the next threads. Pull it down and go up through those 3 you just added. Like that. So we've got this, pick up 3 and going under the next threads. So it's going to get tight as it gets tighter. Your threads are going to get closer to this column that you're going under, but every single thread between, like there's a thread between every single column. You need to make sure we've gone under all of those, so just be careful every time, make sure you don't like miss that one and go straight to this one. Just check that you're definitely not missing a gap between the columns. So go under the next one, pull it down, and then go up through those 3 just added. Okay, so far we have this, we've got 4 little groups of 3 added. You need to add 10 in total, so go ahead and add 6 more and you should be all the way back around here having used the last thread bridge. So when you've done that, it should look like this. So I'm coming out of these last 3 that I've just added, and I want to go down through those first 3 so that we've got that thread bridge there as well, and they're all connected in the same way. And then I'll come back up through the 3 next to it so that I'm back at the top. Okay, so now we have this, and it's going to be a bit floppy, don't worry. It will take its shape eventually. So coming out the top of any one of these columns, wherever you're starting from, picking up one of your light green round beads, so your next green, and you're going to go out of this one that you're coming out of down through the top bead, just through one of the column next to the one you're coming out of. Like that, and then up through the next bead along through the top bead in that column. Then picking up another of that same green and going down through the next top bead along, and then up through the next one. Okay, picking up that green down through the next bead, just the top one, and then up through the next top bead. And do that 2 more times. Picking up one, down through the next bead, up through the next one, and then adding the last one in the same way. Up through the next bead, okay, so now we have this, we've got those 5 beads on the top, and you're going to go through that one that's next to where your thread's coming out of. So sticking with that same colour, the lighter green of the round seed beads, we are coming out of this bead here. You go through the next one in that same colour, picking up 2 and going through the next one, and then picking up 2 and going through the next one. Pick up 2 through the next one, and picking up 2 through the next one. Oops. And then picking up your last 2 of this round, and so we're coming out of here, so through the next one and then up through the 2 above. Those are the first 2 that we just added in that row. Pull that nice and tight, and you should have this. So now we're going to pick up 2 of your dark green, and we're coming out of these 2 here. You're going to skip 1 and go through the next 2. Okay, so skipping 1 through the next 2, and again pick up 2 dark, skip 1 through 2. As long as you follow that rule, you should be okay. So pick up 2, skip the next 1, go through 2 after that. Pick up 2, skip 1, go through 2. Pick up 2, skip 1, go through 2, and up through the 2 above as well, which are the first 2 dark green beads. So we have this, and you should be coming out of these 2 dark green beads. Now we're going to pick up groups of 3, picking up 3 dark green beads and going out of these 2 straight through the next 2 dark green beads. Then we're going to pick up 2, coming out of these 2 and going through the next 2. Then you're going to pick up 3 and go through the next 2 dark green beads. Then you're going to pick up 2, go through the next 2 dark green beads, and back round to here we're going to go with 3 again, and you're going to go through the next 2, just through the next 2 dark green beads like this, and then up through 3, because we started with 3, we finished with 3, but because it's a broccoli and you want it to be uneven and like all wobbly and not uniform all the way around, or it's not going to look very realistic. So it doesn't matter that we ended on 3 and started on 3 where we were alternating. So anyway, go through those 3 And we are here. We've got this little wobbly shape starting. Now we're going to pick up 2 of your dark green again. And we're going to skip over 2, go through 2. Then we're going to pick up 1, skip over 2, go through 3. Picking up 2, skipping over 2, going through 2. And then picking up 1, skip over 2, go through 3. Oops. Now we're going to pick up 2, skip over 2, go through 3, and up into 2 above. So you should be coming out of these 2 just here. Now we're going to pick up 3 dark green again. Oops. Okay, so I should say at this point, if you happen to get a bit lost or you deviate off of what exactly I'm doing, it doesn't really matter. The point of the broccoli is it isn't like exact and neat. It's all wobbly and bobbly and uneven. That's what gives it its broccoli shape. So don't worry too much if you find yourself a bit lost. Just keep going round and following me as much as you can. So picking up 3 this time, I'm coming out of these 2. I'm going to skip 2, go through the next 1. Now I'm going to pick up 4. So I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to skip 3 and go through the next 2. So they're on the top row, they are sitting up a little bit higher. If you turn it to the side, you can see where they are. Now I'm going to pick up 3, skip over 2, go through the next 1. Oops. Picking up 4, coming out of here, I'm going to skip over 3, go through the next 2. Oops, keep that pulled tight. Now I'm picking up 3, I'm coming out of here, I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, go through the next 2. Like that. So coming out of here, skipping over 3, through the next 2. Oops. And up through 3 after that, because that's where we started on this row. Okay, now pull that nice and tight. So we have this right now. This row, you're going to start with 1 dark green. Coming out of here, skip over 1, go through the next 4 beads. Again, picking up 1. This time we're skipping over 2 and going through the next 3 beads. Picking up 1, skipping over 1 through the next 4 beads. Pick up 1, skip over 2 through the next 3 beads. Picking up 1, skipping over 2 again through the next 3 beads. Skipping 2 through the next 3 and up into the 1 above. and then pull that nice and tight. This time we're going to pick up groups of 3. So picking up 3, start by skipping over 4 and going through the next 1. Picking up 3, skipping over 3 and through the next 1. Pick up 3, skip over 4 and through the next 1. Pick up 3, skip over 3 through the next 1, and pick up 3, again skip over 3, so skip over 3 through the next 1 and up through the 3 above that. And pull that nice and tight. So we have this. Now we're going to pick up 1, skip over 1, so it's just that one underneath you're skipping over and you're going through the next 3. Pick up 1, skip 1 and go through the next 3. So you're skipping that one in the middle, go through the next 3. Pick up 1, skip 1, go through 3. Pick up 1, skip 1, go through 3. And pick up 1, skip 1, go through 3 and up into the one above as well. Now we're going to pick up 2, skip over 3, so we're coming out of this one, skip over 3 and through the next 1. Pick up 2, skip over 3 through the next 1. Pick up 2, skip 3 through the next 1. Pick up 2, skip 3 through the next 1. Pick up 2, skip 3 through the next one and up through the 2 after that as well. So we have this. It's almost closed up at the top. So now we're going to pick up 1. We're coming out of these 2. You're going to skip that 1 underneath, go through the next 2 and through the 2 after that as well. So skipping that one as well underneath, through the next group, 2 groups of 2 on the top row. Oops. And picking up 1, and again coming out of these 2, skip the 1 underneath, through the next 2, skip the 1 underneath and through the 2 after that as well. Okay. And then from here, without picking up a bead, you're going to skip that one underneath, go through the next 2 and up into that single bead above and pull that really tight. Okay, now you're going to pick up 2, coming out of this single one on this side, and there's a single one that you've added on the other side as well. You're going to go straight through that and then pick up 2 and go back through that single bead where you started over here. Okay, pull that nice and tight. And then you want to go back through, so you're coming out here, you want to go back through those 2. Back into the one on the other side, back through the 2 on that side, and back into that single bead at the edge. Pull it really tight. I just went through them again just so that they're not so wobbly in there. So right now we have this, which is our basic kind of shape, and then if you look at it compared to this, now we're going to really embellish the top and add extra layers to it to give it that broccoli shape. So the next part is the hardest part, and the hardest part for me to show as well. And it's really going to have to come down to you making your own choices on this, because it's going to be impossible for me to show you exactly which beads I'm going through. It's going to be really hard for you to follow. But the point of it is that every broccoli is unique. Every single one I've made is different. And it's all going to come down to personal preference now about how big you want it to be, like how much sparkle you want on it, how many beads you want to add onto this. I'll show you like basically what I do, but you're going to have to decide which beads to go through and where to put the beads. So I tend to add more volume around this bottom bit so that it spreads out wider rather than at the top, because I don't want it to get any bigger up here. I just want to spread it out this way down the edge here, which you'll get what I mean in a minute when I show you what we're doing. And then we'll add these parts after. So from wherever you start, basically we're going to add an extra layer on top of this, and this is also where the sparkly beads come in. So each time I pick up a different number of beads. For example, the first time I'll pick up 2 dark green and a sparkly bead. And coming out, wherever you're coming out of, you want to sort of gauge how far that's going to take you, and just going into a random bead that sort of distance away, however many beads you've picked up, and let that sit on the top. And then from that bead I'll pick up maybe 2 this time. Change it every time so that it doesn't, you don't want groups of 3 rolling all the way around. You want it to look different and bobbly and bumpy. So yeah, alternate how many beads you pick up this time, which beads you pick up, like the different textured sparkly ones in a mixture with these. So yeah, picked up 2 this time coming out of this one. You could either go up, you could go down. You want to be going in different directions as well, so that it all looks unpredictable and kind of messy, I guess. Now I'm going to pick up 3, 2 sparkly ones and a green one, and I'm going to go into this bead over here, like that. There's really no wrong or right way to do this. It is literally just adding a layer and then looking at it and seeing where you need extra volume, and that kind of thing. So I'm gradually going to work my way down. Like I said, literally just picking up a different number of beads every time. Sometimes it will just be 1 bead like that, and then I'll pick up 3 and go right down to there. And I'll pick up a sparkly one and a plain one, going into there. Oh, that one doesn't want to. Picking up 2 and 3 there. Picking up 1 and a sparkly one into there. And as I get down to the bottom, I'm going to start adding more and more. So even on top of this layer that I'm doing now, I might go round again and add an extra layer, just so that it gets that wider shape at the bottom. So keep going ahead and just keep playing with it. This will take you a while to just add extra layers. Just add beads wherever you think you need them to form that shape that you want. There's no rules to it. There's no wrong way to do it. Just keep looking at it, and yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'll show you a bit further along when I'm getting there how it's looking. Okay, so I've carried on a bit, and this is where I'm at the minute. So it's just bobbly wobbly. I've just added loads of extra layers. I've gone round and round. Down here at the bottom, like I said, once I'd added an extra layer around, I went on top of that again and added some more. Your light green ones do get slightly hidden. If you want them to be more visible at these bottom areas, you can add an extra row of the light green. I'm not too bothered about that. So the next step is to add some random sparkly beads. This is going to give it extra volume, just an extra dimension really. So from wherever you are, pick up a sparkly bead or another one of your seed beads, poke your needle straight through so it comes out the other side, then pull it all the way through so that bead just sits there, and then keep doing that. Taking another one, stick your needle through so it comes out somewhere else, and just let that sit where it is. It's going to do it with a couple of the seed beads as well, so picking up 2, coming out here, so just stick my needle back through to this side, let them sit in there, picking up a sparkly one, stick my needle through to the other side, and just keep doing that again until you've got it how you want it to look and you think you've added enough volume on your broccoli. So I'll come back and show you once I've done that. Okay, so then when you've done that and you're happy with it, you want to move your needle down so it's coming out of one of these beads at the bottom here. It kind of sits underneath as you look at it like this, so one that's kind of underneath. And then you want to pick up 3 of your stalk colour, and you want to kind of coming out of this one, so you want to go level, make sure you're not pulling it off to the side. I'm going to go down into the 3 beads at the bottom that are level with it, like that, and I'm going to come up through the next 3, and this time I might pick up 2, so again switching it around each time. 2 beads, and I'm going to come up and go into one of these beads underneath here, like that, and then you want to move around a little bit. I might just move around by adding a couple of beads here and going through this one, and then from that one I might pick up 3 beads, slide those down and see how far they take you, and then go down into the ones that line up. So you have this, up through the next 3, and then I'm going to pick up 3 again and going right up into a bead that's kind of underneath. So you have this, so we're creating those little stalks, and then straight from there I might go straight back down into this one over here, like that, and you're just going to keep doing that again all the way around until you've got as many little stalks as you want. And then after you've done that, you might find that they're too visible for you, so what I did after I'd done that on this one was went round one more time around the bottom and added this like extra layer that kind of covered up the edges of these stalks. So just around here, go round again and do one more extra layer. So yeah, I've added all the extra stalks that I want, and I am actually just going to add an extra layer around the edge. So I'm just going to pick up random amounts of beads, like 4 beads there, and go around just to kind of cover up some of the harshness of where you can see the stalks joining, because they ordinarily would be like underneath and you wouldn't see them on the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. It's completely up to you how you want your broccoli to appear, so just do what you want here. Sorry, it's pretty much one of those whole patterns where I can't really tell you completely what to do. I can just show you like kind of the technique of how I did it, which I know is not always that helpful but it makes each piece unique, I guess. So I'll go around and then I'll show you how to just finish it off. Okay, so once you've got it how you're happy with it, mine is a bit chunky this time, but I think they just turn out differently every time, but you can tell what it's supposed to be, hopefully. Right, so I've got myself right down to the bottom, so you want to be right down here coming out of the bottom, and you're going to pick up 2. You're not going to go under this thread bridge next to you, you're going to skip that one and go under the next one, because we're decreasing down to 5. Pull that through and then go up through those 2 beads you just added, and then again pick up 2, skip that next thread bridge and go under the one after that. And up through the 2 beads you added. So you're going to do that 3 more times. So skip the next thread bridge and under the one after that, and then up through the 2 you added. So now 2 more times. So we have this, and then just going to join those last 2 together. So coming out of these 2, you're going to go down through the first 2 that we added, and then back up through the 2 where we started from. So now we have this. So at this point you want to add any extra beads or make any adjustments to the shape that you want to do. And then I'm just going to take my needle, stick it straight through the centre until it comes out middle-ish at the top. And this is where we'll add our jump ring. So you want to go through a bead there to anchor it. Bead that's kind of central, I guess. And then you're going to just pick up your split ring or jump ring and go through that and back into the bead several times, just to make sure that's not going to come undone, it's nice and secure. Okay, and then move away. Now all that's left to do is to tie your knots and you're all finished. So tying a knot, you just want to take your needle, capturing a thread, make sure you're going underneath a thread like that, pull that through to create a loop and go through that loop twice from top to bottom. Make sure the knot tightens and then move away from the knot before you tie another one or cut your thread, and do the same with the other end and you'll be finished. So that is our broccolis all finished. So this is what they look like. On the bottom, the back. So they turn out differently every time. This one has a lot more volume to it to this one. You just kind of have to play around with it. That part where you're creating the shape yourself, you just kind of have to keep playing with it until you get the shape that you want. But I think they're both really cute. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you're able to make a little broccoli. Please share it with me if you do on Instagram at Beading by Hannah. Comment down below here anything else you'd like to see, and like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.